What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. I see you guys are still piling into the room, ready to get ready for just another week. But we've got Alan House. Good morning. We got Alex. Good morning to Amy, Bill, Brian, Gerline is going to rock with us. We got Jason P. King, Jay Linder. Good morning. We got Joe, JT, Kevin Stone, KT, Leonardo's in the house. Good morning to Lauren. We got Marcus. Good morning, Marcus. We got Martina, Mike, Richard Jet. We got Ron with us. And all my peeps out there in YouTube land. We got Michael B in YouTube land. Make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, and do that share thing. That really helps. Share the content with somebody else that might be interested in it. So let's get into the spot. I hope you guys had an absolutely incredible weekend. Futures were a little bit nuts last night. So futures, we started up with a nice little gap up. We faded all that. We went to the negatives pretty quick on a deep sell-off, and then we rallied to the positives and right back to the negatives. So pretty choppy, at least if you were trading futures last night. We do have a little bit of a gap down now. We still got 28 minutes to the open, so we'll see where we land. But we're still making some downtrends. We're still inside Friday's candle at this point. I'm looking at immediate resistance at 445.43. So that's a spot that I'd want to see break if I'm going to stay bullish. And the next one up, we got resistance right above it too. That would still also be in yesterday's candle. So I don't think we're going to have a very strong day in probably either direction. Well, for the bullish direction right now, just a lot of resistance. So the next spot takes us to 446.06. One right after that takes us to 446.35. So within that range, there's going to be a lot of resistance. If we could somehow break that bullish, that's a big if. But if we can, that's 447.59 would be the next target to the high. Everything so far, August, has been fade the dips or fade the rips. And we did have technically on Friday a retest gap. We retested, we closed, we're inside that day. We're below moving, we're below all the VPOCs. And I think to the downside might give us a little bit more of a possibility. Interestingly enough, we did bounce off this last VPOC area. So I think if we get down there, it could get a little bit ugly. I think the next spot, which I think is a strong support, probably about we'll call it about 441, but 441.05, something in that direction. So I think there's a decent amount of room still to the downside on the SPY until we start really breaking and holding some of those VPOCs. I think we have to remain a little bit more to the bearish side. And I think that gives us the best possibility or potential. So we have the Qs. Let's see how we're looking on the Qs. A little bit of a gap down. Again, still inside Friday's candle. I do have a moving average coming right in. We are at a little bit of level of support right here. This already has been broken. This was broken on Friday. We were able to save it, got a close above it. Otherwise, now we got some more resistance above it. I'd be looking again to the downside, probably targets on the Qs, 364.60. And then I'd be going to look for like 363.67, somewhere in that range. Eventually, I do think that this has to come back. So I think we eventually land at 359.30. Could we go lower than that? Of course. I think we do have was there a gap still open? I thought I saw somewhere. Oh, no, I thought I saw a little gap, but I don't really see it. I think eventually we'll probably get down to this 355, if not probably 348. So I think there's still a lot more room to sell on this market. Again, Friday was a retest gap. We closed that gap. We hung out with an indecision. We're now gapping and going bearish from that indecision. So we are trapping some bulls from Friday, although not an overwhelming amount because it is kind of just still hanging out inside Friday's range. But I think the pressure continues to the downside, albeit I think there is a lot of probably chop here as well. So we've been looking at that chop all day, and then you make a big break one way or the other. So we'll see if we can try to make some move. Richard Jet wants to take a look at Penn. Also, if anybody else wants any tickers to look at, we could definitely do so as well. Penn, again, partners with ESPN or at least rumored to. I think the deal went through. The earnings not bad. I mean, they beat 12% to the upside. They have a good little surprise beat to the revenue side of, I think, what was it, 10 million. So the problem now is what can save? what is going to save Penn at this point? We have all the good news on the table. We got good earnings, and this is the market telling us that we probably ran a little bit too far for too long in a bullish direction, and none of these levels are holding yet. We are down into an interesting area of support. I think we probably come down a little bit lower, maybe even back to the, I don't know, $10 range. If this doesn't hold here, if this little level of support does not hold on Penn, we're probably heading down to maybe the $10 range again. Again, people are selling rips. This was nothing short of a fantastic rip. Good news, great for Penn. And they could not hold. Not only could they not hold it, but they gave all of it back plus some. And now you're down to the key levels, and Penn is just hoping they could hold these things. So watch this level over here, Richard. Probably this was a test into that support. We did get a bounce off of that. I think if this candle breaks, and again, this is now a big move to the downside. I feel like somebody's going to want to take profit somewhere. It doesn't look strong whatsoever. But I think if this candle breaks and we start holding, then we see a bit more of a flush. This is a level that has to hold. Otherwise, if you are bullish whatsoever, and maybe, I mean, it was good news that he had, but if you're looking bullish, at least you got a good trade set up. You're like, okay, cool. We're at support. I'll put my risk on the table in a bullish direction, and then maybe put some kind of stop at like 22.87. So if you have levels that, if this thing breaks, it's not great. Everything right now looks bearish, but if you're going to be a bull and take a stab with good risk to reward, don't care about losing. Bullish around here would make sense at this support, but this is not. You don't want to see good news, good earnings, and then we just end up tanking. So I think momentum is still to the negative side, and we'll see if that support is the only thing really that could keep us in there. Rock says short Penn. Penn will never be DraftKings. Let's take a look at DraftKings. Because DraftKings, they were getting killed on the Penn news. Still a little bit of a gap down. We put a bullish engulfing candle in on Friday. Is that going to be enough? I don't know, Rocky Road. I don't know. But we got we at least got saved a little bit, slight little gap down pre-market by 4 pennies. The bigger question now is, now you have the 10 EMA coming in. You got resistance somewhere around this 29.86. So if Penn keeps dying, that should be better for DraftKings. That means it's either the market doesn't believe any of that deal is going to go through or really benefit Penn whatsoever. But who would benefit from Penn dying? Yeah, probably DraftKings. So we'll see. But there's now there's going to be a lot of head banging, a lot of resistance on DraftKings. Probably closes $29.94. The next one up, we got a big major level, $30.73. And then we still have to we'd have to get some kind of closes above 31.74 if we keep the DraftKings $100 dream alive. We'll see. X for a fade. Yeah, so there was a little talk of some mergers and acquisitions last night from X. Probably one of the only real stories going on. I think Tesla had a little bit of a potential story as well, but we'll have to see on this one. I do think it's very fadeable here. So yeah, if I was to go anywhere, it's a big move for X. Doesn't normally move like this. I think maybe Newmont might be the ones that could come in with an actual offer, and we'll see. But there's some interest on U.S. Steel. There's definitely some interest on U.S. Steel. We are hitting a little bit of resistance. I would say a little bit higher. There is one here though. I'm going to move this to the top. Yeah, I'm going to try to play this one for fade. Again, if we're fading everything that rips, we fade. If that's the playbook, then X would qualify into this little resistance zone. Let me see who's bidding these guys. Traders weight, retail earnings, US. Yep. So yeah, big week for not a lot of earnings going on this week, but we do have a lot of retail. I think Target and Walmart report today. So again, that should probably give us an idea, at least with some consumer sentiment. Biggest stock movers today, Nikola. Please tell me it's not a Nikola day. I quit. Nikola stock fell 14%. Okay. All right. In the bearish direction, I'm back on. I'm back. I'm back. After the company announced a recall of the two. How do they recall something that they don't even have out there in the market? Well, that's confusing. And then I don't even see anything with X like promised. Oh, here we go. US Steel X shares jumped more than 22% after the company rejected a takeover bid from Cleveland Cliffs that would have valued the company about $7.25 billion. Cleveland Cliffs. So that's positive news. At least US Steel thinks they are more valuable than the offer that came in. And again, there could be another offer out there, and that's what could give this thing a little bit more of a bullish sentiment today. But like I said, if the playbook is fade all the rips, this one, I can't really go that much higher on this one. So I'm with you on that one, Cindy. I'll keep an eye on it. Probably won't come right at open, but let's see what happens. Mosaic Company. So they are gapping down a little bit. This one's going to have some kind of weird support, I think. Maybe not. Just some of the moving averages. Otherwise, target to the downside. You're looking for. Yeah, we have a little bit of zone in here. Let's see if this one could break $40.18. If we could break 40.18, I'm with you. We'll see if we could ride it down. For a swing trade, very, very possible. For a day trade, I give it some time. I would almost want to see this thing come up. This is a retest gap. This is a gap and go. For sure. We have a little bit of a green candle. That was inside. That was a little bit of a harame. If the bulls should have held it, they shouldn't really break this 41.44. And already we're coming in at $40.40 pre-market. So this one does look like a little bit weaker. I would like to see, and I do think this one fades higher at open off of a mini support. And then I think this one could be in a little bit of trouble to the downside as well. Let's get this one on the list too, and we'll push this one higher. Mosaic Company. I used to trade these guys all the time, but I was like probably 15 years ago. I don't think I've traded these guys since. Interesting. All right, let's see what else we got. Okta, good gap up. Yep. So Okta got a upgrade from Goldman Sachs today. I think they have a price target of $91. I'm already in these ones. I'll move this up. We can watch it. I'm not going to day trade these guys because I am in a swing trade on them. We have official swing trade already on Okta. I'm not sure. I didn't follow if Jeremy moved his stops or anything like that yet. So let me know. Are you guys still in Okta? Anybody that's in the swing trade? I'm not sure if anybody got out or not, but Jason's in, Hector's still in. Yep. So I'm still in this one as well. I haven't moved stops or anything yet, but that's a good gap finally. I forget what our exact price that we got into, but I think it's been back and forth. If you're not in it and you want to play it, again, if the price target is $91, it doesn't mean it has to hit that today. In fact, again, sell the rips. I mean, this is hitting. We just got off of 52-week lows, and now you get an upgrade. Very interesting upgrade. Good time for us if we're in there bullish, but we got to watch for like this $76 range. If that could break, fantastic. Otherwise, we do have a little bit of a gap and go. Again, probably going to be a little spready. I think at open, we'll see. But that is a really nice gap on Okta. Would be very concerned about targets. So I'd want to see where this thing closes. Otherwise, again, I think, unfortunately, this is going to be a little bit of a fade. Okta for life. I mean, I don't know if I'm that dedicated to the swing trade, but I do like it bullish. I don't know if I could commit for life to Okta at this point. But yeah, I mean, they have plenty of room back to all-time highs. Whether they get there or not is a whole different situation. Chart looks good. At least it's leveling out. The bulls have had a difficult time trying to get this thing higher. So we'll see. I got it on the list. We'll see if there's any trading. Yep, Tesla with a gap down. So they had Elon Musk has lowered the price of some of the Teslas in China, which again, I mean, not good on the revenue portion. The thing that is crazier about that is or even more negative on the Tesla story would be, I think it was at previous conference that he was at. He said the last time they lowered the price, he left the door open saying if China's condition worsens, we're open to lowering it again. So that's actually, I think, a bad news for China more than Tesla. But I guess Elon Musk is looking at it going, look, we need to pump out sales a little bit. Let's lower the price. This is why I do like Tesla, though, as an overall company. They have the pricing power. They are able to lower pricing as they need to. So if we do hit some type of recession, if we do hit some type of bigger pullback overall in the economy, Tesla still has the ability to lower pricing on a lot of things, where a lot of the other companies don't have that pricing power to do so. It's just Tesla is just much bigger network, bigger supply chains. They could bend some arms a little bit if they have to, but other EV companies aren't the same size as Tesla. They don't have as much resources as Tesla. So, long term, who's really going to get killed from? I mean, we're gapping down on Tesla. This is probably going to head a little bit lower today, I would assume as well. We closed that gap. I mean, this is a wide open gap. I think everybody was eyeing this one down. I think there's still some more gaps lower, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere. No, that's the last real big gap, I guess. I see another like mini one right here. So 220.41. But before that, we're gonna have support coming in at 230.265. We'll see if there's 230.265. We'll see if there's another little bounce spot there. I think that's where we essentially bounce pre-market already, and then the next target down would be this 226.34 zone. So let's see if we get there. I actually have an alert for that price. So I'm guessing that's probably the 50, the 618 retracement of something that I was looking for. But still looks weak. I think Tesla does have a road to the downside and probably still overvalued for the current sales, at least. But I do like Tesla in the fact that they have the ability to kill other companies pretty quickly by pricing. I mean, if they can knock a couple competitors out, which I don't really think they look at those guys as serious competitors yet. So we'll see. We'll see what happens from there. But this is definitely a gap and go. It is down. My biggest concern right now is that we'll probably bounce on Tesla. That's my guess. Closing the gap. Everybody's eyeing this one. Again, it is technically it's a gap and go, but I would look for a fade bullish and then probably roll over, and we'll see what happens on Tesla. But let's move this one a little bit higher too. We'll keep a close eye as we always do on Tesla. Usually it's kind of fun. I know it's Rock's favorite stock to trade. We've been in an eternity already for Okta, I guess. Pre-market volume is high on Tesla. Yeah, lots of movement on Tesla. That's going to cause it. Plus, you got a news story surrounding it with the price decrease. Honestly, again, longevity wise, I think that's a great thing for Tesla. But current balance sheet, knowing that you have less amount of revenue coming in, that's probably not what investors want to see, I would assume. So little pullback makes sense. YouTube, you guys are very quiet today. No stocks on the YouTube front. All right, chat, if there's anything else that you guys want, let me know. I'm just scrolling back, seeing if I missed anything. We did take a look at X, Mose, Penn. All right, let's take a look at AMD. We'll go down the list. Let me take some of these lines off. We got another little gap down on AMD, it looks like. The bears are applying some serious pressure to AMD, but yep, AMD a little bit of a gap down. That one's kind of looking a little scary for the for any remaining bulls still in this thing. Probably most likely we start heading to $100, I would assume. But that's not a fantastic gap. We're still in the very low of Friday. Again, we still have 10 more minutes left on AMD. Well, till the market opens. If we could hang in there, risk to reward, we got a spot. Maybe look for stop somewhere around 105.50, somewhere in that range. I got my next target, 105.65. So let's see if we get any stops below there. That's if you want to look for a spot bullish where it's like, hey, we gotta save Friday. we don't say Friday, we're most likely coming down another dollar. Otherwise, if this thing opens lower than Friday, I could only imagine that we start hitting 104 very, very soon. But this first stop, 105.65. PayPal, we did not take a look at PayPal. PYPL. PayPal, sneaky little gap up. They finally got a new CEO. That's an interesting gap. When did that news come out? 9 minutes ago? At least that story came out. That article came out 9 minutes ago. PayPal might be interesting for a gap and go. Again, the only problem with the gap and go is everything, every rip we get, we're fading. But that is a very, very weak close for PayPal. It's a fairly nice gap. I think the next target we could see is probably about 64.28. I think we get to today. The bigger volume candle is this one, so that's could even be 64.91. If we really make a good push for it, I don't know that we get there though. 64.33 would be my target. Yeah, that would be my bullish play if we have to go with one. Let me see if Square, aka Block, is getting any love. I can't imagine they would, but no. They're actually gapping down on the news. Square looks weak. Next immediate target, Square, would be to the bear side, 59.93. Greg Gilbert says no. Yeah, Square got nothing. Take a look at Wayfair. Yeah, Greg Gilbert, I saw your post, man. You had like a family reunion or something over this weekend. That looked fun. I didn't get the invite, but I mean, maybe next time you guys do a family reunion, you'd be like, hey, maybe DJ wants to code too. Maybe, we got Wayfair, a little bit of a gap down on Wayfair, not much, only about 30 cents. Open invite. No, that's famous last words, Greg. You're probably smart. Just stick to the family. All right, you got Wayfair. So we got some really good support on Wayfair, 73.22. So this is a little bit of a gap down, just probably more chop than anything at the open. So be careful on this one. Your next thing is if you really start to break and hold 73.32, anywhere below that, you probably will see some more sell-off, but otherwise probably just chop to the sideways. Yeah, I'll bring the music. That's a good point. That's a good point. All right, we got Monster. Nice looking gap up on Monster. This one's got to go on the list too. Next immediate target, probably about 59.06. So that's not great target wise. It's only going to make us about 40 something cents, 43 cents ish. Let's add this one to the list and we'll watch it. It's a good gap, but we're going to be heading into some resistance on this one, which is going to curb a little my enthusiasm on it. Which is also a good show too. Maybe we get a little pullback first and then we could watch this one. We'll have to see. But as Monster, AMD, yep, we took a look at AMD. Let's run down the list. I don't know. Let's take a look at NVIDIA since we do trade that one a lot as well. NVIDIA, nice little gap down to, man, everything's kind of getting beat up a little bit. This is a retest gap, so let's see if we get bought up first. Anywhere probably around the first spot I would look, not I wouldn't throw a blind order, but 405.92. And maybe we can come back and start running into this 410.09. That would give us better risk reward. But NVIDIA at open does not look very strong. It actually looks a little weaker than even AMD today. We're not holding any levels. Google is a little bit of a gap down, still maintaining some support, still kind of holding this gap for right now, at least from the earnings report that came out. Yeah, we got a good bounce off of both of those VPOCs, and we're probably just hanging out. That might be a little bit more to the choppy side today. Boeing. On Boeing, we got a little bit of a gap up to 36.40. We got all this resistance coming in above us, so probably 237.51. And then 238. And we tried a few times to break this 240. We keep getting rejected. So 240 is going to be a big area, but probably 238.36-ish will be a much bigger resistance for it. Otherwise, the first one I'm going to be watching for is 237.39. We still got 4 minutes. We got some time left. BABA. So again, I don't know how any of these Chinese stocks are going to react off that Tesla news. I think in a weird way, we might get some more pressure on some of the Chinese stocks than even Tesla's going to get. If that's the way, if Elon Musk is giving us any clue about the Chinese economy right now, that would probably be bearish. But we do have a little bit of a gap down. It is a little bit of a retest gap outside of Friday's candle, so that's playable. And then, but immediate target probably 39.57. NIO, yep, we should check some of those other EVs. NIO looks like a fantastic dump. That one looks good. This is a retest gap. We're now still coming in with some bearish sentiment. Again, I think NIO probably suffers more than Tesla long term from Tesla's, like I said, just straight pricing power. First target on this one wouldn't do too much for us. That's $12.08. The next one down would be a little more impressive. That's $11.90. And then I think, I don't know about today, but if this thing can really pick up, probably 11.28 is where this thing stops today. That would be a tough one to get to. But if, again, if selling really goes crazy. All right, we got Meta. Meta with a little bit of a gap down, still inside day candle. This is a lot of selling into this. So again, probably, I think the pressure is still more to the bearish side. This one does have some room to the downside. 297.40, so roughly $4. I'm going to actually put this one higher on the list too. I'd want this thing to get bought up at the open though. This is one of them that I would have to get bought up. Get me a little better risk reward. I can see even into the close of yesterday, 301.64. Would rather see it get to like 302.51, but somewhere within that dollar range would be the spot to look short. Look to see if we could get a break. First target again, 297.62. Maybe a little bit longer term, or again, if the selling really comes in, 294.98, and that would be a absolutely terrific risk to reward if that happens. ExxonMobil, so energy has been very strong. Pre-market, we get a little bit of a gap down, but nice little uptrend still, I think, in that direction. And I think we only got like 30 seconds left. So everybody out there in YouTube land, make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, the thumbs up button. Do what you can. That helps us out, and it helps share the video, get the content out to somebody who might also enjoy the content. So if you guys do enjoy the video, or if you absolutely like, I hate the video, then just do me a solid. Just, you can still hit that like button. That's all good. But you guys are incredible. Unfortunately, I do got to disconnect for now, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take it easy, guys.